Hey Ringside crew, welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. And now here's your host, Joe, Panther the Third.
Hello there, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode, a very special, spooky episode of the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am Joe Panther the Third, and today I have a special guest host. You know him, you love him,
Papa Panther, baby.
Papa Panther's back, and today, Papa Panther, we have a very spooky, awesome guest. Do you want to introduce our guest?
Actually, I'll let you do it because I'm surprised.
Oh, man. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome back to the one and only Catrina. Welcome back, Catrina.
Hello there. Welcome.
Awesome. So, Catrina, what have you been up to since the last time we were in the Dudes at Ringside studios?
I had the chance to wrestle a lot. I was in England last year. And I had the chance to work with WAW. It's the promotion from Zack Zodiac. He's now at AEW. And I was at Lions Wrestling Promotion, also in England. And I had the chance to work with a lot of great people there.
Awesome.
I see that you're in character. About your makeup. Do you wear this makeup at every show? Do you have the same makeup or do you change the makeup?
I change it a little bit at every show, but basically it's the same. It's a sugar skull. I'm representing the Mexican Day of the Dead with that makeup. And from show to show, I change it a little bit, but I wear it at every show, yeah.
Wow. It's called Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, that's right.
That's awesome. That's nice.
Awesome.
And then how long does it take you to get into character before an actual show?
To put on the makeup, it's just about 10, 15 minutes. I think every other girl takes a little bit longer with their pretty makeup, I would say. And I would say it's around an hour to get into the makeup, the gear, the character. Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome. So, is there any wrestlers that you've been watching on the scene now that you've been in the wrestling business for how long have you been in the wrestling business?
Since about 2018 was my first match, September 2018. And during the pandemic, there were 2 years where we couldn't do that much, but I've been around for 5 to 6 years. Yeah.
Wow. Is there any wrestlers that are from America that you have been seeing now since 2018 that you really want to tussle with that you haven't had a chance to wrestle with yet?
Tough question. I'm not sure. Thunder Rosa would be pretty cool, I would say, because we have the same style. She's pretty cool. Yeah.
So when you're preparing for a match, what kind of routine or workout you do when you're not wrestling to stay in shape for your job?
I'm going to the gym around 3 to 4 times a week, and I'm trying to add more cardio. So I like to run 1 or 2 times a week to stay in shape. But I prefer the gym over cardio, over running. It's pretty boring. I like to work out with weights.
So would you say your workout is weights or running or a combination of all?
Combination of all. I'm also trying to add in a little bit of DDP yoga to stretch my body, and but most of the time I work with weights in the gym.
Cool.
So when it comes to leading up to a show, do you have to when you're traveling, do you have to prep lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or do you just prep your lunches and dinners for that week of when you're traveling to different areas to wrestle?
I try to prep my meals. Most of the time it works, but not every time. Sometimes you get something on the road. Yeah, you take a break and eat there. But I try to prep my meals and take my meals, my lunch and my dinner with me to get all my nutrition.
Okay.
So, what is the furthest distance you've traveled to a show?
Probably England last year in August. We went by plane, and then we traveled with a rental car, and we traveled from London to a small city in England. I didn't remember the name, but it was the farthest travel. And during Germany, it's when I travel to Berlin. It's about 7 hours by train, or by car, but I prefer to travel by train because of the long distance.
When you go across like that in train from you're in Germany, correct?
Yes, I'm from Germany. I live in the Saarland. It's probably not well known. I don't know. And to Berlin, it's about 600 to 700 kilometers.
Wow, that's cool.
Mhm.
You have a question? For me?
Yes. Who makes your gear that you wear during your matches, La Catrina?
He's called George Kukas. He's also a wrestler in Germany. He's from Syria, and he makes a lot of gear in Germany and in Europe. And he makes pretty awesome gear. I really like it. And he made it for me around 2 years ago, I would say. After the pandemic was over, I needed a change, and he did my gear, and I really like it.
Awesome.
So how is it that you actually got interested in becoming a wrestler at the very beginning? What was your inspiration for becoming a wrestler, even before you were a wrestler? Say as a little girl. I mean, what was it that drove you to become a wrestler?
Yeah, little La Catrina liked to watch wrestling, like all of us, I guess. And there was Batista at the time. He was the man, and I was a huge Batista fan. And I watched all the shows on SmackDown late in the night in Germany. It was really difficult to watch back then without internet, and you just had some shows on TV. And I tried to watch everything that I get the chance to. And I always wanted to try it by myself. So I looked up a school when I was around 21, so 21, 22. I checked the schools in my area. Back there, I lived in Bavaria, in Munich. I found a school, but it wasn't the right thing for me, so I quit. And after that, I changed my job location, so I had to move, and I looked for another school. I found one in Frankfurt. It was the factory of German Hurricane Wrestling at the time, and I started to train there 3 times a week. And then they gave me the chance to have my first match against another rookie of there. And in September 2018, I had my first match at Championship of Wrestling, and this became my home promotion.
Awesome.
So from the very beginning of your wrestling career, were you actually wearing makeup, or
Yeah.
you
From the first match, I didn't have a real gear back at my first match. I just had some trunks and the top in black, everything, boots in black. But I painted my face like that, with a little bit of red, black, white, and red. And I didn't know where I was going with this thing, but I wanted to do something different than all the other girls. All the other girls are pretty and they do pretty makeup, and I wanted to stand out a little bit, be something else. So the La Catrina gimmick came into my mind.
So would you say that your character is a heel, or what's the
Face.
a face?
I started as a heel because I thought it would fit more. During my matches, I scream a lot. I'm a little bit unfair sometimes, so a heel was a good thing to go in the beginning. It fitted the character, but most of the time I work as a face now. The fans switch their opinion on me. They like me now. They cheer for me. I didn't do very much for that. It just happened. So most of the time I work as a face right now.
Wow. Cool.
Let's go into your love of Papa Shango and like how you got this whole love for like the darkness. Like, when was the first time you saw Papa Shango and like you had that feeling about the way the darkness and stuff like that of the character?
Just when you watch old promos from him with the smoke and everything about him, when he made his entrance with this big chain and the skulls, and he had a similar face paint, and I think it would be a great match if I had the chance to make a tag team with him, or if he would bring me to the ring as a manager. I would really love to work with him. Maybe there's a chance in the future. This would be really cool because I think our character would fit very, very well.
Have you ever actually tried to reach out to Papa Shango and actually really meet him in person?
I've never met him. No. Our promotion, I think they tried to reach out to him to bring him to Germany, but it hasn't worked out till now.
Have you ever considered coming to the States to wrestle?
I thought about it, maybe to go there on a wrestling vacation to visit a school there, but also this was not a possibility till now. But this would be really cool. I don't know. There are a lot of schools where you can train for some weeks. Maybe I can have the chance to do something like that during my vacation.
Well, if you're hearing this, Papa Shango, and you're some reason caught this podcast, this awesome lady right here, Papa Shango, La Catrina, would love for you to manage her and come out to the ring with her.
I'm ready.
Yes.
That would be awesome.
I definitely would love to be at that show because
yeah.
I love watching you. I'm an old school wrestling fan, as you remember before. I'm Mr. Old School on the podcast. That would be so cool. Like to see you have him come out first. He stops with the skull. And then he turns around, and then you come through the curtain. I would be like, "What?"
That would.
Then I could retire. That's all I want.
I'd cry because, like, oh man, she retired. But hey, everybody, she's been on my podcast twice, 2 times.
In fact, have you spoken to Papa Shango?
I reached out to him. He's a busy man.
Yeah,
he's a busy man. I got one more, and then you can get your next question, Papa. Have you ever received any like gifts from fans on like pictures of you, or like they made a pop of you or anything?
Some drawings. Yeah, we have a fan that draws a lot of our wrestlers, and she's pretty good. Her name's Daniela, and she's at all our shows, and she draws the wrestlers. But beside that, let me think about it. I don't know, just the drawings.
Okay.
So what is the name of the federation or group you're with that you're actually currently wrestling under?
Championship of Wrestling. It's COW. This is my home promotion, and I'm their champion. Yeah.
Look, there's the belt.
Oh.
There it is.
Wow, you are the champ.
Yeah,
whoa.
she's the champ.
The women's champion COW, and I'm the women's champion of OWG. It's Outlaw Wrestling Germany. They're near Stuttgart in Germany. And last year I was also the women's champion of GWP, German Wrestling Promotion. They're from Bavaria. So there are a lot of promotions I work with, but my home promotion is COW, Championship of Wrestling.
So a lot of those promotions, are they is it televised over there in Europe?
Not really. The show, most of the shows are taped and then they're on YouTube, but no television deals in Germany. You know. It's not that big here. It's starting to get bigger. So we have around 200 to 400 fans at the shows. So it's starting to get bigger, but no television deals or something like that.
Wow, that's crazy because you think professional wrestling and independent wrestling, it's pretty big over here in the States and in the UK countries, as you saw, you were just there. did you notice that the fans in the UK countries were like very into your character, or do you think that they were just getting used to you?
Probably just getting used to me. Of course, they didn't know me there, but it was a whole another experience. Like in Germany, the fans were really cool and they were really into the show, and there were a lot more people than at German shows. So it's not comparable. Like you said, it's huge in the States and in the UK, and in Germany it's not that big. But I hope it's getting bigger here.
Definitely.
Nice. Very nice. So have you ever, while wrestling, ever hurt yourself?
I broke my nose in my
Ooh.
4th match. It was a big weekend where we had 3 shows. It's called Forever Wrestling, where we had Chris Masters over here, Mr. Kennedy, MVP, a lot of wrestlers from WWE and from the United States. It's our biggest show in the year. And in my 4th match, was a tag team match, and my partner and my face, they hit each other, and my nose was against her head, and it was pretty hard.
Wow.
There was a lot of bleeding, but I didn't realize that it was broken, so I continued the match. I finished the match, and I had another 2 matches on the next day. And after the weekend, I went to the hospital because my colleagues at work said, "Oh, your nose, it looks a little bit, maybe it's broken." So I did an X-ray, and a couple of days later, they tried to fix it. It wasn't that bad, but this was my only injury. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Have you had problems with your nose since?
Not really. No.
No.
Everything's fine.
Awesome.
Wow.
Good thing your nose wasn't like physically like messed up, because that like certain people, when they injure their ankles or injure their necks, or like they're like Mick Foley with the ear and he had to get it taken off. Like,
nose looks crooked.
Yeah, you know, you look at someone, you smile, looking at somebody in the picture, and like it's off a centimeter. Like, oh no.
It's all good. Yeah.
So in closing, like Catrina, if my fans want to follow you on social media, how can they find you?
I'm on Instagram at La Catrina Wrestling, or also on Facebook with La Catrina Wrestling. You can follow me there and check my page out.
Okay.
That's cool. Hopefully one day you come to the States and you let Joe Panther know.
Yeah.
So we can go really meet you in person. I would love that.
Okay.
Cool. Before we go, if there's any fans watching from Germany, and they would like to buy a ticket for any of your shows coming up, how can they find them?
You can check us out also on Facebook at Championship of Wrestling, Ticket Regional. There you can get tickets for our upcoming show on the 16th of March. And yeah, check us out on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
Cool.
One last thing, if my fans would like to purchase any merch of La Catrina, how can they get any merch?
You can buy my merch at the shows, at the merch table, or you can reach out on Instagram, write me a message, and I will send you some merchandise.
Do you have any merch right there with you that you can show up to the camera? Maybe a t-shirt or something?
Give me 1 second.
Okay. 1 second. While we're waiting, so like, what is like so far? You having fun with this interview?
Absolutely. She's an interesting character, and she shows a lot of experience. She's a champion, of course.
Awesome. Oh, here we go. Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's an awesome t-shirt.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Oh wow.
It's from a championship win when I won my belt here.
There it is.
There it is. The golden belt of a champion.
Well, I'm Joe Panther III.
And I'm Papa Panther.
And I'm trying to
Like-
point at you, Catrina. And that's La Catrina, and we will catch you in the next one.
See ya.